I'm Amanda.
The sound of the paper shredder filled the room, a harsh, grinding noise that echoed my feelings of betrayal and anger. My parents sat in stunned silence, their faces pale as they watched their dreams turn to confetti. My sister, Lily, was sobbing uncontrollably, mascara streaming down her face. It was a moment of reckoning, a long, overdue confrontation that I'd been dreading and yet knew was necessary. My family has always been a complex web of expectations and disappointments. My parents, Robert and Linda, were from a middle-class background. They were hard-working but also materialistic, always chasing the next big thing. My sister, Lily, 22 years old, was the free, spirited one, always looking for the next party and the spotlight. And then there was me, the driven lawyer, working long hours at a prestigious law firm in Manhattan. I'd been working towards a partnership at the firm for years. 6 weeks ago, the managing partner, Mr. Thompson, called me into his office. He told me that I was being considered for the youngest partnership in the firm's history. I was over the moon. I immediately started planning a celebration on the rooftop of a spire overlooking Manhattan. I wanted my family to be there, to share in my success, to finally be proud of me. I spent months preparing gifts for them. One envelope held a retirement savings plan for my parents, enough to take them on luxury cruises around the world every year for the next 20 years. The other was a full ride scholarship for Lily to study fashion design at a top-tier school in Milan, a dream she talked about since she was a teenager. The day of the event, as I stood on the rooftop adjusting the flowers on the family head table, the wind whipped my hair across my face. Manhattan was spread out before me like a glittering promise. It was 4 p.m. Just 4 hours until the big announcement. Then, my phone buzzed. A bank alert showed a $3,000 charge at a tacky beach club called Paradise Cove. Moments later, a text from my mom came in. Lily's having a panic attack. She needs a quiet place to heal. We can't make it. I knew Paradise Cove well. It was a place where college kids went to get drunk and party, not a quiet meditation space. The contradiction hit me like a punch in the gut. I realized they'd known for hours they weren't coming and had waited until the charge went through to tell me. They'd used my money to run away from my celebration. The restaurant manager, Mr. Harris, approached me gently. "Should we clear the family table?" he asked. I looked at the empty seats. If Mr. Thompson saw me sitting alone, it could undermine all my hard work. I decided to keep the setup, but remove the reserved for family sign. I then called my assistant Emily and my junior associates. They all came up to the VIP level. When I told them my family wasn't coming, they were shocked but supportive. Jenkins, one of the junior associates, said, "Their loss is our gain. We get the good champagne." His words made me laugh, the first real laugh since I'd received those texts. As the evening went on, the rooftop transformed into a glamorous event. The sun set, and Manhattan glittered below. My grandmother, Martha, arrived in a stunning designer suit. She was a strong, willed woman who had always been my rock. She took one look at the revised seating arrangement and nodded approvingly. But I was still nervous because Mr. Thompson hadn't arrived yet. When he finally did, he asked about my family. My grandmother stepped in, saying they were dealing with an emergency. She then explained that she was the one who taught me the values that led to my success. Mr. Thompson laughed and said it was the finest answer he'd heard in years. During my speech, I talked about how this VIP position was for those with the same vision, not just the same bloodline. The crowd erupted in applause. The next morning, I woke up to a storm of missed calls and texts from my family. A video had gone viral. An influencer named Mia had edited together footage of my speech and Lily's live stream from Paradise Cove. The contrast was stark. Me speaking calmly about betrayal in an elegant setting and Lily drunk and screaming in a tacky club. The comments were scathing, calling my family out for their behavior. My family was furious, but instead of apologizing, they blamed me for embarrassing them. I decided it was time for a family meeting. I prepared all the financial records, showing that I'd supported them to the tune of $250,000 over the past 3 years. On the day of the meeting, they arrived. My mom immediately started complaining about my apartment, saying it was too cold and lacked color. When they saw the envelopes and the paper shredder, their curiosity was piqued. I showed them the gifts I'd prepared, but before they could reach for them, I explained how they'd chosen a cheap party over my once in a lifetime celebration. I then fed the retirement savings plan and the scholarship voucher into the shredder, watching as their hopes and my years of sacrifice turned to pieces of paper. I told them I was done being their ATM. I was withdrawing as the guarantor on Lily's lease and canceling all supplementary credit cards. They pleaded with me, but I was firm. I said they'd abandon me first, that they valued my money more than my success. As they left, my mom turned back and said, "You'll regret this. Family is forever." I replied, "Family is who shows up. You didn't." Now, sitting in my apartment with my grandmother, I feel a strange sense of relief. The weight of dead expectations has finally lifted. I'm ready to focus on building a future with the people who truly support me, the ones who share my vision. The future belongs to me, and I'm embracing it with open arms.